It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
One banana, two banana, three banana, four bananas make a bunch and so do many more.
Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. You're probably wondering, why did I start the video off with banana splits theme? Well, that's one of the other things I want to talk about. I know it's a Chuck E. Cheese video. And unfortunately, they are closing down all their animatronics. They're moving all out to California to one store. And I want to talk about tonight my theory of why they're actually doing that. I could be right, I could be wrong. This is completely me speculating. And the facts I'm going to give you on here to the best of my knowledge are true, but my research, it's just so hard to find out about stuff like this, especially because I went back to the past. So let's get on and explain to you what I think the Banana Splits has to do with Chuck E. Cheese. The Banana Splits was a kids' TV show that ran from 1968, the year I was born, to 1970. They made 36 episodes. Yes, I looked it up. Yeah, I did my homework this time. And then it ran in reruns from 1970 all the way to 1982, which is probably when I caught it, because 68 years old, 1968, I was just born, so I didn't get to watch it. But I remember watching it in the 70s, and it was cool. They had cartoon shows on there, and they were goofy. And we all knew that they were just guys in suits, but it was fun. And it was Hanna-Barbera. And if you've ever watched anything from Hanna-Barbera, you know they had their own little genre, their own little sound, whether it was the cartoon shows like Laugh Olympics, the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, or the variety shows that they did, you could just tell it was Hanna-Barbera. They just had a style. I wish I could articulate it better, but if you're my age and remember the Hanna-Barbera characters, and a lot of the voices were reused, and same guy did a whole bunch of voices. I think even the guy, I could be wrong about this, but I think the guy that played Lurch on the Addams Family, I think he did a lot of voices for Hanna-Barbera after the Addams Family. But anyway, the show would be on Saturday mornings, of course, and us kids would sit there and we'd watch it. And they had cartoons you never see anymore. The one cartoon I remember was the Three Musketeers, and that was a cartoon that was on the Banana Splits exclusively, as far as I could remember. And they were just so goofy, and they did slapstick comedy. It was great when we were little kids, and that's what we watched. Then in the late 70s, 1977 specifically, in San Jose, California, Chuck E. Cheese opened its first store. And you see this picture right here, right? Just look at it. This picture right here shows the evolution of Chuck E. Cheese, and there's a picture from 1979. Now, I personally, I hate to admit this, but I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese. I raised two daughters all by myself. Their mother was gone. She didn't die. She was just gone. But I raised them from the time they were 3 and 4 till, well, I'm still a dad. They're about to turn 30 now. Well, one of them is, the oldest one. Anyway, they never wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese. They wanted to go other places, like Pizza Hut was their thing. They liked going to Pizza Hut. So they had the same memory I had when I was a kid, because it was a big deal for my father to take us after church to go to Pizza Hut, and we'd sit down, and it was myself, my sister, my mom and dad, and we'd sit down there and have pizza after church. And of course I wanted to go play the video games, but I couldn't. It wasn't allowed because, well, my dad was kind of a cheapskate. My sister had her own money, so she played the video games while she was waiting for the pizza to come, and I'd go watch, and she wouldn't let me play either, so that kind of sucked. But I made sure my kids didn't have that memory. They had the memory of actually, while we were waiting, playing whatever video game they wanted to. I always made sure I had a pocket full of quarters every time we went there. But they never showed any desire to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And so, you can't go by yourself, especially being an old guy like me, because it's just creepy. But so I've never been there. But I'm looking at the Chuck E. Cheese. Of course, I know who Chuck E. Cheese is and everything, but look how it's evolved over the years. This little grouping I have here is from 1979 to 2002. And you can see they made it more fun looking, I guess. But check out the one in 1979 here. Let me make it bigger for you. This cracks me up. 1979, here's the Chuck E. Cheese there. He's holding a cigar. I mean, he looks like my gangster uncle that works for the mafia or something like that. And then 89, it just looks, it's, wow, what were they thinking? 93, they started coming around, looks a little more kid-friendly, and then 2002 version definitely looks kid-friendly. And I don't have anything past that because I suck at doing research. But Anyway, apparently, and of course they have the whole band and everything. I don't know if I have a picture of the band. I meant to download one. Let me go see if I have that. Well, I could have sworn I downloaded a picture to use on that, but I don't have it, so the hell with it. We'll just move on. But yeah, I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese. But anyway, like I said, they opened up in 1977 in San Jose. Out here was 1979. And that was right after the Banana Splits were pretty much off the air, because you don't see them in reruns anymore. You can go to, there's a channel on YouTube that has all the episodes if you feel like watching it. In fact, check that out so you can see what the real Banana Splits were about, because I'm about to talk about the movie too. But so yeah, Chuck E. Cheese opened up in the late 70s in my area, and we never went. But 1984, when I turned 16, I started working, of course, like any man does. And my second cooking job was at a place called Major Magic's. Now, Major Magic's was like just brand new. It was like a copycat of Chuck E. Cheese. I've even done some research and found out that Major Magic's was actually owned by another company, which was a spin-off of Chuck E. Cheese. So Chuck E. Cheese was like the king shit. He was getting all the money from my research. I don't know if it's true or not, because I got conflicting stories. But you never know. So Major Magic's had their own animatronic band too. And since I worked there, I was a pizza cook, learned how to make pizzas there, and I was in charge of the games. And, if a game would break or something, I'd have to go fix it, or some little kid would sit there crying because he put bubble gum in there instead of a token. It was a hell of a job. But I was only 16. I didn't know any better. They had their own animatronic band. This guy was called Sergeant Pepperoni, and he played the saxophone. And he was just scary, just saying. And this is Major Magic. He was like the leader of the band. He was the big head honcho. He made all the announcements. He'd introduce the band, and he was animatronic too. It was kind of cool. Then there was Barbara String Band. I think they were trying to do a takeoff of Barbara Streisand, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, she played a guitar, and then she pretend to sing. And they played the background tracks. I'm sure you've seen some of these types of things before. And that guy in the back there, the lion, that was Flash. I always thought Flash was cool. He was just chill. He just had it going on. And his bear with a banjo, that was Burley Hives. He used to do a number of dueling banjos with him and, I forget the other one. There's a few of these I don't remember. And then if you look all to the far right there, that is Singing Sam. He'd do a lot of the singing. And the guy in the middle, I don't remember him. I'm sorry. These are photos I found, doing research. I don't know who that guy in the middle is. But my all-time favorite character at Major Magic's was Rock the Croc. Rock the Cock behavior. I did not say that. Rock the Croc. I'm just going to leave that in there because it's funny. I'll see if anybody noticed. Rock the Croc played the piano, and he had some of the best songs to sing. They played, I've heard it a million times down there, and to this day I still hear that version. It's Devil with the Blue Dress On. And he would, sing it, puppet ways. But Rock the Croc was always my favorite. And then I thought it was a really good place. They had the video games and everything. They were busy all the time. Then all of a sudden they decided to just change. There's my traditional text message. All of a sudden they decided to change concepts. They became Sideshow Pizza, which by my research, by the way, Sideshow Pizza was the original owner of Major Magic's in the first place. So they gave the place an overhaul. And as you can see, they added bingo games, poker, blackjack, basketball, and our new Redemption Center, plus a whole lot more. I think I worked there like 6 months whenever no, you know what? I know what I did. When they closed down to remodel, I found another job and I started cooking for real. Because I just didn't want to be out of work. And that's what happened with me there. I just quit. But yeah, they tried to do a whole new concept. It was Sideshow Pizza for quite a while. And this is Greensburg, Pennsylvania I'm talking about, by the way. Then a few years later, they moved to Irwin, Pennsylvania, or North Huntington. It was North Huntington, Pennsylvania, which if you live around here, Irwin is North Huntington. It's all little sub-towns or whatever. And they weren't open for very much longer. They just didn't have the clientele coming to Irwin. It was Greensburg people. And they slowly went kaput, went out of business. But the whole time all that was happening, Chuck E. Cheese is still last man standing. They're still open to this day here in Greensburg. And like I said, now that they're taking the animatronics out, they're moving them all back to California. They're going to keep one place with the animatronics just for posterity, as they say. But you go to Chuck E. Cheese now, I don't know if they've taken them out yet. This is kind of newer news, but you won't be able to see any more animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese's. Now, goes back to the banana splits. The animatronics that came out, I think, just my opinion now, I don't have any factual basis of this. I think the banana splits might have started it because kids loved the puppets that were running around and everything like that, seeing the bands, because the banana splits would do music all the time and the kids loved it. I loved it when I was a kid. So I'm thinking when Chuck E. Cheese first came out with their concept, I'm wondering if they might have based it on banana splits idea. I could be wrong. Like I said, this is just my point of view, just my opinion. And I would love to discuss this further, see what y'all think. It's not an argument. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But I feel like it is. And getting back to the banana splits, after the banana splits are one of our favorite childhood memories. Sometimes I forget where I'm at. After one of our favorite childhood memories goes away, it gets old. The show got canceled and everything like that. There was a cartoon series for them for a while. I don't think I've ever seen it though. And then we had come into the year 2019. And guess what happened in 2019? Our fun-loving banana splits from the 1970s. This is a picture of them right here. And they just became this. The Banana Splits movie. 2019. It might be 2018 now that I think about it. I don't know. But anyway, a couple years ago. Banana Splits movie where they turned them all into psycho robots that just went around killing people because they lost their show. If you haven't seen the movie, sorry for the spoiler, but it is a couple years old. Now, I gotta wonder, why would they think of doing the Banana Splits as a horror movie? It's kind of crazy if you ask me. Here they take something like I was really into when I was a little kid and they made it a horror movie. I have a very twisted sense of humor, so me personally, I think it's awesome. But you just got to wonder, why pick that randomly, a show that only aired for 36 episodes when we were little kids, and turn it into something like this? Well, according to the internet, the internet's right about everything. The script that they used was actually the original Five Nights at Freddy's script that was meant to be turned into a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So now we have the Banana Splits movie with animatronics scaring the hell out of people. And then a couple years later, Five Nights at Freddy finally gets on board and does the movie that they planned on doing the first time, which they passed up the first script, and somebody had the idea, hey, let's make it into a Banana Splits movie, bring them back and scare the hell out of everybody. It was a very good movie. I just watched both of them yesterday, but if you haven't watched it now, I am going to give you spoilers on Five Nights at Freddy, so if you don't want spoilers on Five Nights at Freddy, well, I'll see you later. They are so similar movies, same basic plot line. Banana Splits, it has a kid that everybody makes fun of, and there's even a line in there where they say there's something wrong with, I don't know the quote, but there's something wrong with him. He talks to animals and believes in fairies and stuff like that. Okay, that's in the Banana Splits movie. But also at Five Nights at Freddy movie, they're saying one of the main characters on there is mental, talks to fairies and believes in magic and stuff like that. So that part of it is very similar. I mean, it's too similar. It's almost like they took the same script and just made a few changes here, instead of having it at a TV show, they changed it to an old broken down Chuck E. Cheese type place. Just what I think. Anyway, both good movies though. I enjoyed both of them. I enjoyed playing Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game in VR. It's a very good game. I recommend it. So now we're up to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Was it scary? To me, no, but I'm demented. It might be scary to somebody else, and people, even back in the day when I worked at Major Magics, those animatronics did freak me out a little bit because I had to help whenever they took the outfits off of them, the clothing off of them, because they would wash them. It's really creepy. It is really creepy. So then into these movies now, kind of creepy too, which leads to my final point about tonight's subject. I feel that Chuck E. Cheese has taken their animatronics down because of movies like the Banana Splits movie and Five Nights at Freddy's movie, where the animatronics come back to life. I maybe even go back to like the Terminator movies, but the Terminator didn't dance around and sing rock and roll songs. So that's just what I think. It just seems too close in time for this to happen. Like I said, I hate to say it. Maybe I shouldn't even be doing this video because I've never set foot in a Chuck E. Cheese. But it's all the same. It's sad to see it go because Major Magic closed down a long time ago. So did Sideshow Pizza. I think the animatronics, I would think it'd be fun for kids to have their pizza parties and stuff and see the bands. But, in today's society, little kids get creeped out and everybody goes nuts. Excuse me. So, hey, that's it for me. I just wanted to throw that out there, and I would be playing the music over this, but I'm afraid of getting a copyright strike, so that's what you get. Because I think it'd be funny to get that song stuck in everybody's head. All right, guys, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. See you next time. Tra-la-la, la-la-la-la.
Tra-la-la, la-la-la-la, tra-la-la, la-la-la-la.